Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Org.
This is Rangru, low.
And folks, more 30-minute time coverage. You can get a pizza or less in the amount of time that we can go and cast one of these games. Today we are actually on Tannenberg. Rang, who do we have? What are they bringing through? And how's it going to play out?
On the left-hand side in the blue, we have Badgerjelly playing for Fallschirmjaeger with a Maverick income. Right-hand side in red, we have Scrublord playing 126 Mountain Corps, also with a Maverick income. So two very infantry-focused divisions. You know, a little bit of heavy fire support. Honestly, pretty similar divisions in terms of actual equipment makeup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of a T-38 being heavy support.
That's like the flapjack support, really.
Yeah, it's like the Bob Semple tanks came out to play.
Yeah.
But hey.
The Soviets designed the tank, and it's like, hey, we need this tank to be prone. It got to be very hard to hit.
Yeah, it's a fair way to put it. An early hurricane, in the meantime, by the way, coming in, looking for that fog of 190, and yikes, not quite getting the shots off he was hoping for.
Nope, and very effective bomb and run, knocking out the support gun here. And of course, with Tannenberg, it's very interesting map where he's got two rather openish areas mixed in with towns, and of course, the big central forest, which will be a CQC nightmare for both sides, really.
I feel like Tannenberg has kind of always been that nightmare map because of it, though, too.
Yes. Such a choke point.
Yeah, it is. And you can see right now, all of that German equipment is just, well, I guess, and maybe some Italians in there as well, throwing themselves forward into those trees against Gornos the entire time. And yes, while they have stovepipes that are trying to give some vague support here, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot because there's really no flanking to be done. It's just kind of like you mash your face against the other guy until one of you stops wanting to kiss the other one.
Yeah, you just bring flamethrowers and satchel charges until everyone dies. And in this case, Scrublord is actually getting the victory here. The Gornostrelkovy may not be as hotly equipped, but they do have the numbers to back up their firepower.
Yes, although they do have to watch out against these para-assaults, so these guys, again, just like, you want something that's got a crazy amount of firepower, you get Papa Shahs, or you get these freaking Berettas. And I'm fascinated by these, just because right now those Gornostrelkovys are having a very odd kind of needle advance right between them. And here we go.
Yeah. I think if he times this right, Badgerjelly could get the flank. Because those Gornostrelkovys, yes, he's doing it. They kind of overextended themselves. But goddamn, yeah. Even though the Gornos aren't dedicated CQC squads, they still have pretty insane CQC firepower. And the Raider tree helps out quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely true. Absolutely true. And when you have the advance of Komroti as well, I'm happy to go and trade a Gornostrelkovy squad or two to take out the Paradis Assaultos, because I feel like those guys are the scary mothers in those trees.
Yeah, they are not nice to go up against. Looking at the rest of the map, it's actually pretty, like, even. No crazy pushes in either the north or southern towns. Just lots of machine guns and infantry set up all over the bloody place.
Well, I'm fascinated by the fact that I want to know whether or not Scrublord was the Scrublord just now, because it feels like he called his infantry forward to encourage those mortars to fire. Now, if you check out the 76-2s, quick battery, counter battery, and that for that matter, gotta hammer somebody. The question is, how badly? The mortar and the mortars are moving, so very, very well timed.
Yeah, smart play. And both sides do have a lot of radio-based artillery, so it's going to be very accurate and quite deadly firepower, including the Fockerel once again coming in, just blowing a gun out of high water. And then he's going to go dogfight a hurricane, because why not?
Well, dude, he was listening to the Scorpions, man. He's all about trying to rock him like a hurricane. Unfortunately for the Hurricanes, there's a 20 mil still on the ground. That will give just enough firepower that I think that the Hurricane's going to get forced away.
Yeah, another Fockerel is going to bugger off, and he is much more speedier. So that will be another successful and rather safe bombing run.
Unless, of course, he gets killed. Now, at that point, he'd be Expedia.
Yes.
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 Yes. 76-2s. Again, I'm fascinated by the 76-2s because I'm so used to just being like, okay, regular field guns, they're gonna fire in that stupid little straight arc. And the stovepipes, I don't know how he's got. Oh, the Gorno's up here. Maybe he has vision on it. No, he doesn't. There's no way in heck he's got vision on that.
No.
How does he have vision on that? It's a mystery.
Maybe it is the Gorno. Or maybe he's just really good at spotting.
Or he's watching his stream or something. So guys, if you have a cheater,
Yes.
please feel free to ban him whenever you see him. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea.
No. But no, those 76 mils are very good. They're pretty much like airborne pack archers, really.
Mm-hmm.
They also have the heat shells, and they also smoke, which is quite nice. They got the radar trait. They just have a whole heap of stuff. For 60 points, they are bloody effective, is what I'm trying to say.
And that's a fair way to put it. Now, the unfortunate thing about the division is you only get 2 in A and 2 in B. At least that's how it is in this particular deck. Which means you got to husband their firepower considerably. By the way, anti-tank rocket, Hurricane coming on in. Because there's a Dushka that's getting hit by an SPW. So, I hate to be that dude. But I don't know the Hurricane firing its load off on an SPW is the most important usage here. But God love you.
It should be a safe kill, though, so...
Yes.
He shouldn't lose his Hurricane, as there's nothing to really intercept. And the AS-42, it's not in War Thunder, you can't just easily shoot down airplanes.
Oh man, that was the most frustrating thing in the world. I should be like, yes, I am finally a bomber. Oh, look, there's one freaking gun. Yeah.
The Italian clown car comes to ruin my day once again.
There was a comment I was going to make that would been probably pretty pejorative towards people of the red, white, and green. So I think for the moment I'll just kind of keep that thought to myself. But suffice to say, clown car. Anyway. Northern side, for some reason, Fallschirmjaeger MG42 decides to open up on Gornos and Pakotas and Gornostrelkovy TPs and the BT7. And you gotta remember that some of these guns, even at the 47 mil that's starting to engage now, even the L6 is actually engaging right now as well. It's while you can shoot at them, it doesn't mean you should shoot at them.
Mm-hmm. And it does feel like a Scrublord has been able to, especially in the northern and southern towns, is bring in more units and more firepower. I mean, he hasn't made much progress. It's kind of hard to on the north and southern flanks. But he definitely has a more, steady defense.
Yes, he does. And I kind of feel like the 4th Fallschirmjaeger, while they have some very, very deliciously effective equipment, I don't know. I don't like their vehicles, obviously, that much.
Yeah. He hasn't been able to really bring in the fire support to bear. I mean, you do have the Italian Stugs, which are pretty good fire support. That 105 is quite deadly. Anti-tank is a little bit to be desired, but against the Mountain Corps, they don't really have a whole lot of tanks to begin with, so they're pretty perfect. It's been a pretty just big meat grinder in the center part of the map, which I feel like this is where Badger has been investing a lot of his time.
And you know what, I agree. I think those Stugs are kind of like the workhorses of this entire division. Yeah. The Italian Stallions, if you will.
Yeah. They're not pretty, but they can get the job done.
That's true, and their acting job sometimes is a little bit to be desired, but we love them anyway, so. And we're going to see in the meantime just a couple of just... Ooh. So the level bomber is going to do his level best to take out some of this Russian infantry. Hurricanes, in the meantime, though, trying to come after them. Not going to successfully intercept, but we might get a fighter kill somewhere? No. Oh, we do get a fighter kill.
Yeah, very dangerous head-on there from the Focke-Wulf. He only has 220 mils compared to... Okay, it's pretty similar firepower to the Hurricane.
I think it was the Veltro that kind of helped in the meantime.
Yeah.
Just like this Hurricane in the meantime, trying desperately to go after this ground attack of Focke-Wulf, and actually I very much prefer this kill. Yep, that's one.
Yep.
And he's going to get greedy. Will he be greedy? I'm not sure.
Oh, yes. It's got the stars. Yeah, the Hurricane is not a great interceptor because it's so bloody slow, but in turn fights for 75 points, it's very effective.
Now, in the meantime, back to the middle forest. It is a 12-12. And Parasol's getting ready to... Oh, and they're dead.
Yeah. There's Gornos. There's so many of him.
Yes, there are. They're kind of like the gremlins after you fed them after dark and put them in water. So, very, very scary indeed.
Yeah, and Scrublord has been able to really utilize his CQC firepower quite a bit. I mean, Badgerjelly does have decent CQC troops. He hasn't really been using a lot of the Fallschirmjaegers, which is definitely right quite well in both towns, as, Fallschirmjaegers have an insane amount of firepower. They feel like they have G11s, honestly.
That is fair enough. Forgive me, I'm watching a 45mm engage with the M42 Stug. As both it and an L6 to try picking on a 37mm. So kind of cheap. I mean, like, shoot at somebody who can actually shoot back. Be sporting about it. Yep. Unfortunately, they didn't quite get that memo.
I don't know whether I want to love or hate the design of the L660. It just makes me feel uneasy.
No, you're right. You're right to feel uneasy about it.
Okay.
You're right to feel uneasy about it. It's like someone that's like put a gun on a vehicle that should not have a gun.
It honestly looks like a tank which should be in a foxhole.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But it feels like it should be overbalancing. Like it's like a gun that should be resting on the edge of a foxhole.
Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, not the runs in the bloody tank.
No. Otherwise, we'd be rather bloody because of it, I'm sure. We are going to see another Hurricane run over here at this M43. And he doesn't get quite sent off to that Midnight City just yet. But, I don't think I'd be celebrating too much.
Yeah, and Badgerjelly hasn't been able to really punish his heavy use of air power so far. He doesn't really have a whole lot of anti-air deployed, and his fighters have been having a rather poor time against those Hurricanes. So, Scrublord's in a pretty good position. We're into B phase now. I mean, it's not really that big of a, huge point advantage to Scrublord's favor, but it definitely feels like he, keeping up with the momentum advantage.
Well, and we are going to see some more infantry investment to the northern side. The forests are going to slightly heat up in the meantime, as the Gornos are going to get hammered. But again, with the para assaults going down, not a great place to necessarily be, especially if you're a scout paratrooper beyond the lines.
Yeah, and even the CFS Pioneer having quite a hard time here dealing with all those Gornos, because I mean, the SVTs and PPSHs are a very nasty combination, as we see.
They certainly are. But with that in mind, we actually haven't seen a whole lot of tickets really being traded back and forth. If anything, it's been kind of a bit of just a resell thing, as we see some tickets kind of get picked off, but then there's really not a whole lot of interest. So, I mean, you kind of feel bad about it. And then you realize that you have M3 Lees that are coming to the front, and you have to laugh by just how hideous those things continue to be.
Yeah, but honestly, in a pretty good position. There's not a whole lot of anti-tank in the area they're trying to push here, so... And they provide good infantry fire support, so I think there's a little bit more infantry, and Scrublord could maybe push through the southern town and maybe capture a flag or two.
I think you're right with that one. The question... I mean, he's got 1311 now. So the question kind of is, does he try to rotate and get greedy and try to pick off something like the M43s? Or what does he do? Meantime, we do see a 172 on map, just trying to snipe that M3 Lee, but this is not World of Tanks.
No. It's not going to be all that effective, really. You want to be using that to try and snipe or counter battery the 76 mils, as they are much more deadly to infantry.
Well, the Focke-Wulf, for the meantime, dropping bombs like crazy, and we see the... Ooh, I kind of forgot he has that much in the way of just firepower. Good lord.
Yep.
The 1007, I mean...
Yeah, it's a lot of bombs.
Yes, it is.
And
Those
he's gonna use that to counter battery.
those guns
Nice.
are gone. Come on. There's like.
One
Okay,
gun is gone.
that's still. I'm not gonna say impressive. That's the wrong term
Yeah.
here. Focke-Wulf takes another hurricane. In fact, the sniping hurricane is definitely gone. P40 though should be able to get a cheap kill here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good turn, and there we go.
But you have to wonder. I lose a Focke-Wulf or I lose the bomber, really, overall. I feel like the heavy bomber actually might be more valuable in this case.
Yeah, definitely can provide more fire support. He still has a decent amount of, like, fighter-style aircraft he can use. And he really just needs to start getting up a more effective anti-aircraft now, because this is, like, Scrublord's just coming in hot with the Hurricanes, hitting the Tiger, yeah, not getting a kill, but all it takes is 1 to 2 more attacks like that, and that Tiger is gone.
True, and apparently Lees over here are trying desperately to be hunters, and it's not going to go well.
No, it's just like North Africa.
Yeah, firing their spitwads. And he's not even stressing him out either, which is quite humorous to me. And that's what happens.
Yeah. Very effective use of the Tiger. We've seen more M3 Lees being ported up north. And yeah, it's just been a grind over just all sectors of the map. Really, it's just been about at one central flag in the town, or in the forest, which keeps flipping back and forth, and Scrublord with his Gornostrelkovy spam has been, very effective. With his current push down south from Badgerjelly, capping the far southern flag, he is slowly starting to tick.
That might certainly be the case. I'm sorry, I was just checking out the fact that we to Boston, and then this forest fight is, I think, going to go actually very negatively here. This actually might flip the momentum in the center, because he cannot get new infantry there really in time. It's just Paracanditustes. So, yeah, these Fallschirmjaegers are going to go down, brings back to a 12-12. And I would argue, if they take out this infantry, we actually, there's 13-11.
Yeah, and that's pretty much almost 2 flags in the center he can capture here. Not a very good choice bringing just regular Fallschirmjagers into the town, or into the forest. I don't know why I keep calling the forest a town. As they just don't have that CQC firepower. He really just needs to bring in the artillery and the bombs into that forest, just level it to hell and back, and then move in the Italian CQC troops to try and pick up the remains.
What is a forest but a town that just hasn't been, built yet?
Yeah.
Or a town for animals.
It's like an animal town. Next, I make an animal farm.
True. And just think that Snowball is always right. That's the important thing at the end of the day. Just like these Lees apparently believe that, wow, okay, if you fire enough junk at the wall, eventually it will, in fact, stick.
But I do like his southern push here from Badgerjelly. It's really, he should be just trying to push the open areas, as he does have the long-range advantage of his division. Pushing a little bit harder if the tanks could potentially get anti-tank rifle to the side, which is not ideal. But he is making progress here.
True, but I think just because now we have Zis guns moving in and Morskaya Sapiris. So, yes, he's going to take some tickets here and there, but, heat shells potentially could kill?
Yeah, there always is a chance. But I think the Tiger will be thick enough to survive. But it's just taking a lot of suppressive damage here from that 76 mil.
True. Between that and now the Hurricane coming on in. Yep, the crew's been knocked out. The M42 goes down, and we still have 2 Zis guns, which I think just thank their lucky stars that the Tiger E has not decided to back up just yet. He put himself... Ooh.
There we go. I think that's just enough HE damage to blow up the Tiger. That's a pretty big loss, yeah. We are seeing another huge reinforcement. Lots of Fallschirmjagers, which in this town fight should prove to be quite effective, but he did lose a lot of armor fire support.
True, and if you actually look in the center forest, too, Paracanditustes, they go down. Northern side, actually, everything that was there is panicked. So yes, there is a lot of material down over here, and he's scratching back and forth like the fierce badger that he is. But also, like the rest of his name, he's turning his troops into jelly. So I've never seen a commander kind of embody their name, their tag, so completely well. And you have to love it, because we love that kind of aggressive play. And with those Fallschirmjaeger divisions, the paratrooper kind of divisions, you always have to be aggressive. You always have to be attacking.
Yeah, and now it's starting to get to the time limit, of course. There's only, up to 30 minutes in the match here. I think Badgerjelly just kind of has to all or nothing down south. He's lost a lot of, ground in the central forest. He can potentially get 1 or 2 flags back, but he shouldn't be trying to push hard here. He just needs to try and push heavy down south. I mean, there's a lot of potential flag advantage which he can pick up.
Worth mentioning here, we have like a Fury in reverse, as we have a Tiger being engaged by 4 Lees. Not entirely sure why those guys thought, yeah, let's go down the road here. That's a great idea.
Yeah, right in the open. They won't see us with a massive turret ring.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just all about that bling, though, too. Maybe they're just like, guys, we gotta go and just show off the thick with, oh, wait, we have no Cs. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do like his push. Oh, go ahead.
No, please don't say Sturmpanzer.
No, you go ahead.
Sturmpanzer.
Yes.
I'm sorry, continue.
That's what I was going to say. The Sturmpanzer is ready to storm. I do like where he is pushing it. It's a little bit risky, because it could have been anti-tank guns in that forest, but fortunately for him, there is not. But if he hooks out rounds, he can start providing some fire support down south into the town. Oh, the Z-1007 does survive the anti-air coming in clutch.
Yes, indeed. Now, this is not engaging anything important. Lee's trying to engage some Fallschirmjägers. And while there has been some aggression here, I feel like this is a dice throw. I'm not sure. I don't know if I really kind of like this necessarily.
What do you mean by like a dice throw?
A dice throw, and that is kind of like he's calling it everything he has left. And I feel like if Scrublord can, let's put this way, arrest the momentum on this one, then it's over.
No, it's pretty legit. It's do or die down south. I mean, up north, Badgerjelly says he barely has anything there. The Tiger's just kind of zoning out the field to make so he's getting it a little bit too close. He just needs to hold on to whatever flags he can northern edge of the map and just full send down south. And he's got Scrublord in almost a pretty decent bulge here. He is starting to take some heavy damage in his infantry. He doesn't have a whole lot of reinforcements coming, so I feel like Scrub might be able to just revel a storm down south.
Yeah. I mean, we did see that one of the level bombers does go down. Sturmpanzer is freaked out as courtesy of that Boston. But I think you're right. He's got to hold on to what he's got. And it does make a difference if it makes it or not. I would say they have each other, but really all he has is Sturmpanzer. And that's all right for war. He's taking his shot.
Oh, he's halfway, yeah. Oh, Boston bomb blowing up stuff on the ground, yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Oh man, and a tank is certainly a square, and he's actually a crater now. He got taken out by that Boston, a second Boston. And the Tiger E, so it's getting kind of funny. So we have these Lees that are sitting in defilade. What they're waiting for, I don't know. But we have these 4 Lees that are just kind of waiting as if this weird cavalry charge is waiting to happen.
Yeah, it's a very odd spot for the Lees. We've got the FS Pioneers coming over. Fortunately for the Lees, there's no Panzerfaust on them, so they should have a rather easy time.
Unless, of course, they just decide to show their engine decks, which, ta-da.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. So that was a choice. Just like we have these Fallschirmjaeger Pioneers that are now in a pocket. And I didn't see the M40 whatever go down. Yes, it did, I suppose. Yes, it did.
It did. Yeah, it feels like Badgerjelly's just lost a lot of his momentum here. And Scrublord has been able to survive that storm down south. He's got 13-11 still ticking, so he's pretty much in the clear, I'd say, for taking the victory.
I think you're right on that one. I mean, the Lees have taken horrific losses, which is to say they've lost more than one. And these Tigers have not been able to really drive home, let's just say, their technological, I'm going to put this in air quotes, advantage.
Yeah, Scrublord has kind of taken a play out of the Kursk book and built like a defense in depth, really. I mean, his firepower isn't anything... I mean, the Gornostrelkovys are pretty insane, but like long-range anti-tank firepower, it's pretty lacking. Now he is finally bringing in some KV-85s, but he's just been able to just throw enough bodies and just buy time to allow the bombers to come on through to pretty much save the day.
You know, and I think that's a fair way to put it. Now, I wish he had he swung these Lees around maybe to go actually hammer the Tiger in the side. But hey, you know what? I think if he tries to just continue to bash his AT gun against the Tiger E, I'm sure that'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Or he can call in 2 bombers, well, a ground attack fighter and a bomber at him too. That should probably do something.
That would also work as well. Just lots of high explosive firepower. That's one thing I do love about Steel Division. So yeah, as a heavy tank, you may not have the anti-tank penetration to deal with it, but if you just throw enough high explosives at anything, you can pretty much solve most problems in life.
Yeah. Just watching as these Lees are probably going to get picked up, at least in part, by not the L6. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But the Paragatutsi could... Again, I'm never going to say that right. The paratroopers are the Panzerfaust.
Yeah.
And there we go. Now the Lees rotate, and that's when the Tiger goes down.
Here's the Lee cavalry charge.
It's very Jeb Stewart for those of you out there who are Civil War aficionados. They make a lot of noise. There's a lot of like, woohoo, way to go, guys! And then nothing really comes from it.
Yep.
Just like right now.
Very impressive how you got there to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. It's like these pairs in the meantime, they have themselves a Panzerfaust. Do they get into range with it? Nah. That's a suggestion, not an order.
Yeah. And there we go. Here's the tap out. And a GG for Scrublord, showing that he's not that much of a scrub.
No, he isn't. And unfortunately, Badger not really able to kind of hound his way to a victory there. And you can see right now, there probably was a little bit of friendly fire. I missed exactly what that was. But a 1,300, 1,400 kill difference, not terrible at all.
No. And looking at the kills, nothing really that crazy from the Soviet side. It's pretty spread out.
Yes, it is. Other way around, the Focke Wolf got some small kills there. Tiger E picking up some small things. For the most part, really not crazy killy.
Yeah, and Badgerjelly just wasn't able to really, utilize his long-range firepower advantage in that match. I think just being so tied up in the center really screwed him over momentum-wise.
Yes, that's a fair way to put it. But any final thoughts there, sir?
No.
Okay, well, folks, in that case, then that will conclude our coverage for this week in terms of the 30-minute or less pizza tournament. Until next week, I'm Conor.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.